Hey guys, it's Witness 2282 here. I just wanted to give you a quick walk around and update. I sold my Ninja 650 and I've bumped myself up to a Yamaha R1, a 2012. I want to give you a quick walk around of it. This is more of just an introductory video, not so much a review, being as that I've only had it a couple of days. So let's do a quick walk around. All I can say is this bike is extremely sexy. It turns a lot of heads. So far, in comparison to driving my 650, this thing, it's like driving sex. It's the only thing I can compare it to. It just feels really good. It's really smooth. It's extremely fast. I mean, it's no comparison. After driving that 650, I look back at it now and that's not even a motorcycle in comparison. This bike is really something else. It's a really, really gorgeous bike, and it's very, very fast. So, a few things I'm going to do immediately is I got to get a tank pad, of course, and I've come to realize that I need on the sides here those traction pads, because I do find myself sliding forward on this bike. The sound that comes out of this bike is incredible, and I haven't even done an exhaust yet. It still has the stock exhaust. It just sounds very, very aggressive, very grunty. It just sounds awesome. I'll see if I start it up here for you. I can get my key to work. So there's your gauges. Let me see if I can manipulate things so I can show you some stuff here. Let me come around. This is a very poorly done video, sorry guys. Alright, so there you have your current miles per gallon, the time, your miles per hour, the temperature, it'll tell you low. You have the traction control, there's the TCS right there, it's set all the way up. And I don't know if I can get in there really see, it says mode STD. It doesn't mean it has a sexually transmitted disease, it just means standard. And you can change the mode right here on the handlebars. So if I click it once, it goes to mode A, which is generally for sport riding, if you're going to the track or whatnot. Mode B, it kind of takes a little less power out of the throttle. It's more for rainy conditions. And then back to standard, which is for all-around riding. Now, for each one of those riding modes, you have the 7 different traction control settings. So you can have it all the way up or all the way down. So in total, you have 21 different riding modes to go ahead and customize it to your riding style as well as the riding conditions. But of course you have your gear indicator, which is pretty nice. Let's see. Your average miles per gallon, your current odometer, I'm only at 168 and I've only had it a couple of days because I want to ride everywhere. And this is what your current miles per gallon is running. So I'm averaging 29.6. I was riding a little hard, even though I'm still in the break-in period. Break-in period for this, it tells you in the manual, don't pass, I think, 6,900 RPM for the first 500 or 600 miles, and then up to 1,000, don't pass like 8,900 RPM or something to that effect. Up here, of course, you have the little light indicator that tells you when to change your gears, when to shift. You can actually customize that. You can either set it to say if you want it to be at the red line, so if you want to really run the hell out of it, then shift at the red line. Or if you want to just set it to, like, let's say 7,000 RPM, you can set it there so that way you know to shift at 7,000 RPM. But I would probably just leave it at the factory setting at the red line. So let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, the traction control is on this side. So with this switch is how you change those 7 settings of the traction control. Everything else is the same. You have your blinkers. Down here is your horn, your high beams, low beams. Let's go ahead and start her up. The other thing I want to show you, while this warms up, because I haven't ridden it, is the headlights. So of course you have really aggressive looking headlights, plus those LEDs in the side. And at night, all of this, that whole strip lights up. So it looks really, really nice. I'll see if I can insert a picture that I took right here. That show you what it looks like at night. But I will be back once the bike's finished warming up, and I'll give it a couple of revs for you. Alright guys, I'm back. One of the other things I forgot to mention before I do the revs for you is you got the temperature gauge right there, which says 167. It's actually now going down. I've had the bike running for a while. It went up to like 180. Now it's going down. Now it's fluctuating. You see 169. But that's pretty good to let you know when your bike's nice and warm. The only thing I noticed that I don't like about the gauge cluster is there's no fuel indicator of how much gas you have left. There is a low fuel light to let you know when you've got maybe about 20 to 30 miles left on the tank, but other than that, you don't know how much gas you have, which is not too bad. But it's one thing I did like over the 650 in comparison. So she's nice and warm now, so I'll give her a couple of revs for you. Let's see. Yeah, so that was it. I can't really rev it too hard for you guys because it's still in the break-in period. I can only just do little blips, I guess. So yeah, people might ask me, why did I get rid of my 650 and step up to an R1? Why didn't I even get like an R6? And in the interim, I happen to become friends with some of the guys from the local bike shop that I have down here. I go to all their bike nights. I've brought them a lot of my own business, spent several $1,000s there. I've brought them other folks' business, and the owner kind of said, we want to see you in something that's really sick. You do us a lot of favors and you bring us a lot of business. We want to do you a favor as well. So they basically sold me the bike at cost. And, that was a deal I couldn't pass up. And I was looking at an R6, but the price difference that they were going to give me the R1 for, it was just not that much. And they told me, for a guy of my size, I'm 6'1", I weigh like 240 pounds roughly, like a medium build. And they were like, just get on an R1 because at least you're not going to want to upgrade from an R6 and then get an R1 later on. You'll already be there. So I guess that made sense, and I figured may as well go for it. Got a hell of a deal on it. Deal of a lifetime, actually. And I'm in love with it. It turns a lot of heads. It sounds great. Looks great. I guess if you guys have any questions, I'll try and answer. And I'll do a follow-up video later on once I've put more miles on it and I can really tell you more about it. I intend on taking it out to the track eventually, after the break-in period. I intend on getting it out there. So I guess be on the lookout for that. But hit me up if you guys have any questions. I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. Since the bike's new, I'm still figuring some stuff out myself.